Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7, and today I think it's Christmas. I'm not sure, but I think it is. Either way, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever to all of you folks out there, whatever you celebrate. And if you don't celebrate anything, I just hope you're having a wonderful day, because that's really all that matters. I hope you're just having a fantastic time. And today we're just gonna do, I couldn't decide what to do for Christmas. I had a couple meme ideas in mind, but I couldn't get it working. So we're just gonna talk a little bit about my #1 wish list in E7 and what I want for it. And while we go through this, I want you to hit pause, go down in the comment section while you're hitting like LOL, and let me know what your #1 wish for Epic 7 is for 2021. You can be as vague as you like, as specific as you like. You can go into detail on whatever it is. If it's something like what I want personally, which you can probably guess, or at least close to guess, you can kind of tell me what you want it to be. If you want a specific ML unit that isn't out yet, like give me a design for it, you know. So, what do I want? I just noticed I'm level 69, which is pretty nice. Not exactly what I want, but the #1 thing I want for 2021 is kind of the same thing I wanted the last 6 months or a year, and that is an Ariminta exclusive equipment. I don't think it's asking too much. It's not saying like, I want every ML5 in the game. I just want an exclusive equipment for Era, and I just took the necklace off yesterday or last night or like 3 hours ago, but I've been using her for a while lately with this build. This usually is an HP % immunity necklace, so just pretend that's immunity and it's okay and better than that. And this is kind of the way I built her. My head's in the way too. Woo, there you go. But anyway, I think they're having trouble with Ariminta. I love her to death. She's my favorite, as always has been since day one. And I really think she needs an exclusive equipment to get to that next level. I do think she's actually pretty solid right now. Maybe a little worse the more these ice limited units come out. But I definitely think she's doing okay. So I think they can go a lot of directions with her EE, and I'm kind of worried, you know. I'm kind of stressed about it, even though it's Christmas today, I think, depending on when this goes live. And that's because if you haven't really used her extensively in all of her different builds, you don't entirely know what she needs. And I feel like I know at least a little bit what she needs. So I'm gonna give 3 ideas for her exclusives, and I hope they are decent enough to be useful. And if you have any better ideas, let me know. And some of these might be too strong, they might be too weak, some of them might be flavorful, which is kind of the point of EEs for me, as well as making them just a little bit teensy bit more usable. So first off, to get into Ariminta, one of the biggest problems with her is she is a mage. She's a fire mage, which makes it kind of rough. And she has very low base stats, much like other mages. So one of the things I want to accomplish with her exclusive equipment is to make it so either she doesn't care as much about the stats, or she can work around them with the E. And that's where the first thing we have to decide, and that's her stat bonus right now. We can see Lidica right now has effectiveness on hers, and you might be tempted to give her effectiveness because she's got a debuff, got a debuff, got a debuff, and a debuff. You might be tempted to give her effectiveness, but I'm not sure that's super wise, because like I said, she needs a ton of stats to really survive. And specifically, you have the option of ignoring Soulburn, Soulburning her skill 3, and ignoring ER. So if you're building her in that direction, the effectiveness is not super needed. So because of that, I really would like her HP to be something, or her effective equipment, wow, so many wrong words, to be something defensive or speed. I feel like speed would obviously be the best, but that's kind of pushing it, you know. They don't give too many speed. but I think she needs it. And otherwise, I would actually be really happy with HP percent. Maybe attack percent. Effectiveness I'd obviously be happy with, but I think it would be worse than something like HP percent. I really don't want crit rate or crit damage at all. So that's just something else. So that's my kind of hope for the main stat. Defense percent would honestly be okay too. Nothing great, but I would not be pissed about defense because you do need a ton of defense on her to kind of survive. Next up for her abilities, and the first one I actually was considering was making her have some sort of feeling of Silverblade Ariminta into her. So Silverblade Ariminta didn't take all of the spotlight, you know? And what I want is, this one might be too much. I'm not sure. It might be too much. So what I want is for an exclusive equipment for skill 1. And what it does is whenever your skill 1 does not crit, it will trigger your skill 2. And your skill 2 will automatically crit. So that's kind of what I really want. So for example, if you ignite somebody, if you do not crit, your skill 2 would proc all of the stuff here, and you would guarantee crit on this one. On the other hand, if you skill 1 ignite and you do happen to randomly crit, because you cannot get 0% crit, your skill 2 won't proc. So this will add a little bit of randomness to her set. I think if it was guaranteed every single time, it would be a little too good. So I just like the idea behind this, because then you can build her kind of like a counter control set build that has that skill 1, skill 2 combination that that Silverblade Ariminta has. And it also allows you to randomly just give your whole team increased attack. And on top of that, it allows you to save stats, because you will not have to build any sort of crit rate to kind of do damage. Your skill 1 and skill 3 won't do as much damage. Skill 2, when you proc it off of your skill 1, will. So you could do something like 0% crit rate or as low as you can, and then have the crit damage up really high if that's what you wanted. So that's kind of the first thing I was thinking. Just some way to make her skill 1 a little bit more spicy and make her a little bit more just usable in longer battles, I guess, especially against other bruiser teams and especially in builds like this. And another option I had was to... My keyboard just disconnected and reconnected. Cool. Another one I wanted to do was kind of make her leader situation a little bit more emphatic in her skill. I want to see more emphasis on that. I want to see a little bit more like command with her. So one of the ways I was thinking about doing that is just adding a basic CR boost to Catalyst. So this would make it so Catalyst would increase attack. It would also boost CR, so you could use her as an opener, and also unhealable as well. I'm not sure how much CR you would add, maybe like 35%. I'd have to look at what everybody else does. Maybe 50, maybe just 100 because she's Ariminta. But I think that fits thematically for her, because she's really going to be commanding other people and kind of, you know, getting them in there and just having a good old time with her friends and charging into battle and just being a leader, you know. And I feel like her kit right now doesn't really scream leader outside of this one line of increased attack, which feels kind of out of place. So I really feel like adding another buff to skill 2 would be great. And it doesn't have to be combat readiness boost. It could be increased speed. It could be something else, but I think just a CR boost would fit the best, especially with the way her kit works, because you're able to cycle your skills a lot. I think this would also make her both fantastic as a nuker, because you could run her really fast and nuke skill 3, skill 2, because her skill 3 gives her 50% combat readiness. And you can just use it in all sorts of ways that way. And also, I think this would be pretty solid for PvE as well. You can't forget about PvE. And then number three I want is a tough one. I'm trying to figure out how to make it more fun. And another one of the big problems with Ariminta is, one, there's a ton of ice units. Two, a lot of times everybody has infinite resist, so you can't land anything without infinite effectiveness, and you don't have infinite effectiveness unless you want to just die instantly. And Number 3, there's all those MLDBs that just dodge everything. So this ends up being good. Like it's good. It's got a chance to burn and a 50% chance to stun. But between misses, between elemental disadvantage misses, between MLDB dodges, between effect resistance, this 50% chance to land a stun ends up just like not stunning anybody, which is a problem. So I've been trying to figure out how to fix that. There's a couple ways to go around it. One is you could ignore effect resistance on it. 2 is you could ignore elemental disadvantage. 3, you could make it so it always hits, but can't crit as well, something like that to kind of balance it a little bit. There's a ton of different things you can do here. So personally for me, what I would do is I would make this skill 3 exclusive equipment, ignores effect resistance, always hits, and cannot crit. So this way you kind of have a punishment for super DPS, but you're able to do what you need to do just wonderfully, you know, without having to spend all of your stats there, so you can actually get just a little bit of HP to survive. So those are my 3 ideas. There's a billion more in my head. I have no idea what they're actually going to do. They're probably gonna like make the chance to burn 100%, maybe move the combat readiness to like 75%, and then give another buff here. Like that's probably what they're gonna do, but I hope they go a little bit more experimental because I think she needs a little bit more experimental. So that's gonna be it for today. I just wanted to kind of have like a positive, fun video for today. I hope everybody's just having a wonderful time. Doesn't look like Era's having the best of time right now. Maybe we can fix that because like does not look like she's having a good time. Oh, she looks like she's in anguish right now. Which one? I like this one. We'll give her the laugh here. So those are my hopes for Ariminta. She's also read like a lot of Christmas. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about her for Christmas and I couldn't think of anything else, and I couldn't really want to force anything, and this is something that's just been on my mind for a long time. Every time I use Ariminta, I'm just like, So, yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Everybody who doesn't celebrate, I just hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always. And if you're lonely this holiday season, you need somebody to talk to, just send me a PM. I can try to talk to you, assuming I'm awake at the time. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.